Hello, scholars. My name is Joseph Orji, and tonight I'm going to keep you company for a few minutes. So the topic of our discussion tonight will be the recent ban of iPhone use by the Chinese government. Let me make sure you are seeing this, and then we can go from there. Okay, good. I think you can see it. So we all woke up last Wednesday to the news that Nasdaq futures dropped 0.5%, mainly because of the ongoing sell-off of Apple stock for the second consecutive day. So what is the cause of this drop? Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, Apple share took a hit last Wednesday, plummeting by 3.6% due to the recent ban by China on the use of iPhone for government business, and also to the news that China is extending its ban of the iPhone to include state-owned enterprises and governmental organizations. So that is, what we found yesterday and the day before yesterday. As a matter of fact, in the early hours of Thursday, which is yesterday, the New York trading session, Nasdaq 500 futures experienced 5% decline, like I said before. Now, remember that decline, like I also mentioned earlier, was largely driven by the sell-off from Apple stock. Now, Apple, of course, we know is a tech giant, and the hit on its shares, or the drop in the price, is really due to this news. It's made everybody to be concerned about the future. As of pre-market hours of Thursday, Apple stock has extended its decline to around 2.7%. So a natural question to ask at this point is why the ban? Why is the ban? Why the ban? But we'll come to that in a few minutes. But before we do that, let us look at the things we need to know about this recent ban or recent move by the Chinese government. The situation in China has really developed as the government ordered officials at the central government agencies to not to use iPhone and other foreign branded devices for work or bring them into the office. So these instructions were reportedly communicated to the staff by their superiors in workplace chat groups or meetings. So through the workplace chat group or meetings, that's how it was communicated. So the potential expansion of the iPhone ban in China could have a significant implications for, foreign brands operating in China. Of course, everybody is concerned, including Apple itself. So that we have this ban really make the market, especially the Nasdaq, to be really hyper yesterday, and which is on Thursday, and today before yesterday, which is on Wednesday. Now let's look at the reason for the ban. It is true that the Chinese government has not officially stated why, why it is banning iPhones for government officials. However, in my view, there are a few possible reasons for this. But the main one is, of course, retaliation. Why did I say that? Well, as you know, the ban could be seen as a retaliation for similar moves by the United States government against Chinese tech companies. If we recall that in November of 2022, the Biden administration banned approvals of new telecommunication equipment from Huawei, which is a Chinese company, and ZTE, which is also a Chinese company, because they pose an unacceptable risk to US national security. At least that was the reason that the US government gave at the time. So this ban on the use of iPhone by Chinese government officials can be seen as a retaliation to that move made by US government in 2022. Another reason for the ban could be, I can say, I call it nationalism reason, the nationalism factor. As you know, the Chinese government is also promoting domestic brands and technology. So by banning iPhone, it is basically sending a message that it prefers Chinese-made products. So nationalism can also be a factor. So at this point, we are ready to look at how the ban will affect Apple. Well, naturally, we know that it will have a significant effect on Apple and Apple products. Well, let me put it as simple as I can. The potential impact of China's iPhone ban on Apple Incorporated is still uncertain. Why? Well, we'll find out very soon, but it could be significant. China is one of Apple's biggest markets. Generally, nearly, Apple generates nearly a fifth of its revenue from China. So as a matter of fact, Greater China, which include Hong Kong and Taiwan, is Apple's largest market and accounting for 18% of total revenue of $394 billion. So this is annual revenue. Now, from China, well, from Apple, the Apple's annual revenue, of which 18% comes from China. Now, Apple also, it is also in China that Apple's vast majority of sell most of their product. Let me put it that way. So Apple's China is also where Apple sells the vast majority of their products. Oh, not sell the vast majority, because I've already mentioned that it's 18%, but majority of Apple's products were assembled in China. See, because of cheap labor, or cheaper labor. Let me put it that way. So that the Apple, it will be really a significant effect, and that is explain why the market is really high, concerned. The ban could also affect Apple's supply chain, because many of its products are manufactured in China, and also we expect more things since Apple have a really significant footprint in China. So now here let me summarize what we expect if this ban continues. The first thing is reduce sales. Okay, reduce sales. The ban could lead to a decline in Apple's and iPhone sales in China, as government officials and employees will be forced to switch to other devices. So the ban could also have a knock-on effect on sales to other customers, because some may be less likely to buy iPhone if they know that the government officials are not allowed to use them. So let me put it this way. According to the available estimates, the bank will cost Apple anywhere from 5 to 10 million units of iPhones. So that is big. It's really huge. In other words, this will represent a significant loss for Apple, since China is one of its largest markets. How about the damaged reputation for Apple? Damaged brand reputation. Yes, of course. The bank will damage Apple's brand reputation in China. Some people may see the ban as a sign that Apple is not trusted by the Chinese government, which could make them less likely to buy products in the future, Apple's product in the future. Then we can now come to one of the main significant effects, which is the increased cost. The ban can lead to increased cost for Apple because it may have to find new suppliers or manufacturing partners outside of China. So this could also make it more difficult for Apple to get the components that it needs to make these products. Now, of course, another effect could be lost opportunity for Apple. Yes, the ban could prevent Apple from taking advantage of new growth opportunities in China. For example, the company may not be able to sell its latest product to government officials or employees, which could limit their market share. So you can see that Apple really is in a very tough position. Now, don't get me wrong, Apple make quality products. They are going to get over this eventually. Now their stock is down. For investors who want to invest in Apple, this is the right time to jump in and buy Apple stock, as a matter of fact, because eventually Apple will find a new market, a new source of raw materials, a new place where they can assemble their products, because the world loves Apple. When they do that, the share price will eventually bounce back. For me, I would say any investor, this is really a good time to buy into Apple stock now that it's down. So you can get in now, buying low, and then selling higher when the stock eventually increases in value. Apple is going to get over this. Don't get me wrong, they will. They have good management, they have quality products, and that is what the customers want. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in my next lecture. Have a good day.